So, it's written by Mark Daniels, and we're going to read a little passage from it. Passage. Alright, today we're going to hear about Roman mythology. Roman mythology. Funny enough, I was actually just in Rome a little while ago, so maybe I should have read this before. Alright, I hope that you can find a comfortable place to sit and relax as I tell you about Roman mythology. More than any other civilization, the Romans can lay claim to having had the biggest impact on modern Western society. And yet much of what they introduced had been acquired from Greece, from the gods of Greece mythology, to its art, philosophy, literature, society, theater, and technology. Roman civilization lasted for more than 1,000 years, encompassing at its height much of Western and Northern Europe, North America, and Middle East. What began as a group of settlements joined together from the city of Rome by 600 BC. In 509 BC, it became a republic, ruled by 2 consuls elected from the Senate, and growing in strength. Rome soon overpowered other settlers on the Italian peninsula. By 146 BC, Rome acquired her first overseas territories, Sicily, Spain, and northern Africa. And the Macedonian Wars that followed saw further acquisitions in Macedonia, Greece, and Asia Minor. In 27 BC, Julius Caesar's sons became the first emperor of Rome, and imperial rule was to continue for the next 400 years. By the 2nd century AD, the Roman Empire covered all of the Mediterranean, most of the Western and Southern Europe, and even extended across what is modern-day Turkey, Israel, Egypt, Iraq, Iran, and parts of Saudi Arabia. However, in its dying days, the emperor's sheer size made it vulnerable to attack from northern Europe, and by AD 455, Germanic tribes had sacked Rome itself, and in AD 476, the last Roman Empire, Romulus Augustus, abdicated, signaling the collapse of the empire. Wow. I actually went to the Colosseum. It was pretty freaking cool. We got to see, where all of this kind of stuff happened, and, it's pretty crazy. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the gods and goddesses, which is my favorite part. If you ever knew, Percy Jackson and all that kind of stuff, it's very similar. The Romans were so enamored with Greek mythology that they adopted its pantheon of gods and goddesses and their accompanying stories. In fact, much of what we know about Greek mythology actually comes from Latin literature. As such, rather than recount the myths already told in chapter 7 below, is a conversion table of the Greek and Latin names. You will notice that the planets in our solar system have all been named after the top Roman gods, with the exception of Earth. Wow. So we have Aphrodite, aka Venus in Roman or Latin equivalent. She is the goddess of love and beauty. Then we have Apollo, or Apollo. It's definitely Apollo. And the Latin equivalent is, Apollo. He's the god of music, the sun, and archery, which have literally nothing to do with each other. That's kind of fun. Next is Aries, which is Mars. He's the god of war. Slay. I've heard a video game is called God of War. I wonder if Ares is in that. Okay, next is Artemis. And the Latin equivalent is Diana. She is the goddess of hunting, fertility, courage. No, just fertility and hunting, which again have nothing to do with each other. What is happening? Next is Athena, which is aka Minerva. Why did none of the planets get named after female goddesses? I'm confused. Are they trying to say that only the men are important? Probably. Next is Kronos, which is aka Saturn. He is the god of the sky and the ruler of the Titans. Then we have Demeter, or I don't know how to pronounce that. Maybe it's Curies or Circes, or it's something. Next is, and she's the goddess of agriculture and cereal. Oh no, I think that's the pronunciation. Cereal. But it's not, there's no L. Oh, it is series. Somebody needs to get in the comment section below right now and tell me exactly how to pronounce this, because I'm looking dumb right now. I never want to look dumb like this again. Anyways, then we have Dionysus, which I know how to pronounce, crazy enough. Dionysus, but he's Bacchus, which is the god of wine. Then we have Eros, which is Cupid, god of love and desire. Duh. Then we have Hades, aka Pluto. You know, Hades was always the most hated out of all of the brothers, so that's probably why they kicked Pluto out of the solar system, because he's the most hated brother. Next, we have Hephaestus, or Hepatitis, or as most people call him. He's also named Vulcan. Vulcan is one of Saturn's moons named Vulcan. I feel like that's true, but also probably isn't. You never know. God of fire, volcanoes, and weaponry. Hera, aka Juno, aka the wife of Zeus. That's her freaking power. Are you freaking kidding me? I know for a fact that Juno is not just Zeus's wife. This book is actually sexist. I'm really mad about it. Jupiter is also the god of marriage, which is funny because her husband cheats on her all the time. That's really ironic. Next, we have Heracles, or Hercules. He's a general, manly hero and demigod. Yeah, that's facts. Then we have Hermes, aka Mercury. He's the messenger of the gods. He's that dude with the winged sandals. Next we have Poseidon, aka Neptune, which is the god of the sea. Then we have Uranus, who's also known as Uranus, and he's the god of the sky and father of the Titans. And then lastly we have Zeus, aka Jupiter, aka the biggest sexist jerk in the entire world. He's the ruler of the gods, and he has a lightning bolt. That's all they tell about him, but he's actually the god of lightning and thunder, and the sky, and the air, and cheating on his wife. So yeah. Anyways, don't buy this book. It's inaccurate. But do read Percy Jackson. And how else did I learn about this? guys. I hope that brought you to sleep. Good night, my little demi